Hello! So, rather delayed video, but here it is finally. A video on how I do my nails. I got quite a few requests for me to do a video like this. So here it finally is. And the first thing I do is remove the old nail polish. As you can see, it's gotten, quite bad, quite flaky. I usually have my nail polish on for about a week until it, gets bad. So first thing I do is use a nail polish remover, and I've just gotten this one. It doesn't really matter the brand. One thing I can say though about nail polish remover is that it's really good to use something that's acetone free, because acetone, it dries out your nails. So if you have really strong nails, it shouldn't matter, but yeah, if your nails are rather weak, I recommend something that doesn't include acetone. So first thing I do is of course open it up, and then I use a cotton pad just to soak that one. Then just remove the nail polish. Okay, so when that's done, you can see all removed. The next step is that I usually take a Q-tip, and then I put some nail polish remover on it. Then I go through all the nails again, like so. If there's any spots that I missed, usually do like the corners, and then I usually go under the nails as well. Remove any residue of old nail polish or dirt over there. Alright, time for the next step, which is where I usually bring in my nail file. I know some people prefer to cut their nails. I don't, because mine breaks easily. So if I have bad luck, mine will actually break when I cut them. So I prefer a nail file. But yeah, I usually just go over each nail, just even them out, see if there's any unevenness or any where there is close to something breaking. And I just file everything. Alright, so when that's all done and you've evened out your nails to where you want them, I always wash my hands before I start putting on any new nail polish. And one good thing to use is these. I got mine from a grocery store, so they're not hard to find. They're designed to clean your nails, so you just put on water and soap and just go over them. You don't have to do it all that thoroughly, but just to remove any lost residue of a nail polish remover or dirt, or residue from when you filed your nails. So yeah, let's do that and then move on to the nail polish. Alright, so time to put on the nail polish. First thing I do before I put it on is push up my cuticles. Now there are tools for these, but I prefer to just do it since we've already washed our hands are clean, so there's no problem. I know there are also tools for actually cutting these off. Don't do that. Your cuticles are there to protect your nails, so don't cut them. However, I do recommend you to push them up, because they're still there to protect your nails, and your nail polish will look new longer. It's if you don't push them up and when you paint the nails, almost exactly the same, like the next day, it will look like your nail polish is already old, because yeah, you will start to see an edge here when it grows out. However, when you push up your cuticles will follow with you, will follow with the nail polish. So after a week, it will still look like it's pretty new, and that's when it's time to swift your nail polish. So yeah, I highly recommend you to push them up. Just don't cut them off. And that way your nail polish will look new all through the week. And then the first thing, this is something I always recommend, is to use the base coat. This is to protect your nails from getting discolored, because I've had that. I always use base coat, but last year when I went to Korea, I forgot to bring my nail polishes with me, so I bought a nail polish there, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, I'm just going to be here for 2 weeks, I can use one and not have the base coat. Bad idea. When it's heavily pigmented, you will get yellow spots on your nails. It's not pretty. So let's get started with the first base coat. So I just put on one base coat. It doesn't matter which base coat. This one I use, it's just a cheap one I bought. I find that most base coats just do the job. I've never been one to buy expensive nail polishes. I think that just some of the cheapest ones I have been some of the best nail polishes I've had, so I've never been one to just go after brands. I just buy yeah, what I think is pretty, and then yeah, most work really well. I've had no problem with this base coat. Alright, so the base coat has dried, and we're moving on to the main nail polish. And the one I'm going to use is this one. It's from Etude, and as you can see, it's a glitter nail polish. I got it from a friend of mine. So let's open it up. I actually really love glitter nail polishes. The good thing about them is, see here. The good thing about them is that when you're using glitter nail polish, it doesn't have to be perfect when you put it on, since the glitter kind of covers up all mistakes in that sense. So if it starts flaking, it doesn't show as much as it would with just if it were just a one color nail polish. But then again, it has some bad sides as well. Glitter nail polishes can be really hard to take off. Glitter isn't just the thing that dissolves as easy with the nail polish remover as normal nail polish does. The glitter doesn't dissolve, so it tends to get stuck at your nail, and yeah, take forever to take off basically, and it can also damage your nail in that process. So it has both its good and its bad sides. I also want to say about glitter nail polish is that this one, as you can see, isn't sheer. It has a black color, or a found color. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see it has a color in the base, so it doesn't need that many layers. However, when it's basically just glitter and it's sheer, you might have to use another nail polish at the base. This is because otherwise it might take like 10 layers or something to make it, to cover up the nail completely, which means you have to use way more nail polish than you need to. So I'm going to do the other hand as well, and then you'll see me in a little bit. Okay, so time for the second layer. The first one is dry, as you can see. So I usually do 2 layers when it comes to nail polish. Pretty standard actually. It never seems to be enough with one, and then the second layer, especially with glitter nail polish, you can always, like, if it doesn't cover perfectly, you can always go back on the nail polish before it has even dried, because as I said before, mistakes doesn't show that, doesn't really show when it's nail polish. So as long as it covers the nail, any unevenness, so to speak, doesn't really come off. You don't really see it clearly unless you like put it under magnifying glass or something. So yeah, I just want there to be with the second layer so that there's nothing see-through and there's enough glitter on it. One thing that's pretty much always needed when it comes to glitter nail polishes is the fact that you need a top coat, which I'm going to add on later once this is dried. The more glitter the bottle contains, basically if it's all glitter, the more important it is that you use a top coat, because otherwise it might flake right away. Because it tends to, well, not have as much nail polish that actually sticks to the nail, that glues it to the nail, so to speak, compared to when you use normal nail polish. So using a top coat will secure it, and then not flaking at all, because it can actually get stuck on clothes as well if it's like a lot of glitter. So yeah, for best hold, to use a top coat. So I'm going to add on for the, I'm not that great at painting my nails, but I don't usually measure that much. To me, I mean, it goes off as soon as it dries. You can just pick it off at the sides. So yeah, just going to add on to my other hand and then I'll be right back. Alright, so time for the last layer. If you're wondering about the lighting, it's because this is actually the next day. It got so late that the lighting went rather dark, so thought I'd wait for the next day to do the last layer, which is a top coat. It doesn't matter which brand you use, but yeah, important thing is that you use one, because it helps protect the nail polish. Ooh, here we go. And yeah, gonna put it on the next nail as well, and then I'm all done. So that's how I do my nails. Hope you found this helpful. I'm no expert in nails, but this is what I've learned during all the years, because I've used nail polish for quite some time now. I was actually a biter when I was smaller, so that's why my nails are still rather thin and fragile. Which is also the main reason why I use nail polish, because otherwise they break really easily. So yeah, this is the best way I found, at least. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Bye!